Genius Quotes presents Thomas Edison's Genius Quotes. I start where the last man left off. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. There will one day spring from the brain of science a machine or force so fearful in its potentialities, so absolutely terrifying that even man, the fighter, who will dare torture and death in order to inflict torture and death, will be appalled and so abandon war forever. His genius, he was quite content in one brief sentence to define. Of inspiration 1%, of perspiration 99%. Great ideas originate in the muscles. Hell, there are no rules here. We're trying to accomplish something. The doctor of the future will give no medicine but will instruct his patient in the care of the human frame, in diet and the cause and prevention of disease. There's a way to do it better. Find it. Religion is all bunk. The three great essentials to achieve anything worthwhile are hard work, stick to itiveness, and common sense. Waste is worse than loss. The time is coming when every person who lays claim to ability will keep the question of waste before him constantly. The scope of thrift is limitless. I never did anything by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident. They came by work. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Nearly every man who develops an idea works it up to the point where it looks impossible, and then he gets discouraged. That's not the place to become discouraged. We don't know a millionth of 1% about anything. The reason a lot of people do not recognize opportunity is because it usually goes around wearing overalls, looking like hard work. To have a great idea, have a lot of them. The value of an idea lies in the using of it. They say President Wilson has blundered. Perhaps he has, but I notice he usually blunders forward. If we did all the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. Restlessness is discontent, and discontent is the first necessity of progress. Show me a thoroughly satisfied man, and I will show you a failure. What a man's mind can create, man's character can control. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Your worth consists in what you are and not in what you have. To my mind, the old masters are not art. Their value is in their scarcity. The best thinking has been done in solitude. The worst has been done in turmoil. Nonviolence leads to the highest ethics, which is the goal of all evolution. Until we stop harming all other living beings, we are still savages. The chief function of the body is to carry the brain around. Show me a thoroughly satisfied man, and I will show you a failure. What you are will show in what you do. I find my greatest pleasure, and so my reward, in the work that precedes what the world calls success. Just because something doesn't do what you planned it to do doesn't mean it's useless. Be courageous. I have seen many depressions in business. Always America has emerged from these stronger and more prosperous. Be brave as your fathers before you. Have faith. Go forward. When I have fully decided that a result is worth getting, I go ahead of it and make trial after trial until it comes. One might think that the money value of an invention constitutes its reward to the man who loves his work, but I continue to find my greatest pleasure, and so my reward, in the work that precedes what the world calls success. There is no substitute for hard work. I have friends in overalls whose friendship I would not swap for the favor of the kings of the world. The body is a community made up of its innumerable cells or inhabitants. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. Its sale is proof of utility, and utility is success. To invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. I am proud of the fact that I never invented weapons to kill. Being busy does not always mean real work. The object of all work is production or accomplishment, and to either of these ends there must be forethought, system, planning, intelligence, and honest purpose, as well as perspiration. Seeming to do is not doing. There is far more opportunity than there is ability. Everything comes to him who hustles while he waits. Maturity is often more absurd than youth, and very frequently is most unjust to youth. I never did a day's work in my life. It was all fun. Results. Why, man, I have gotten a lot of results. I know several thousand things that won't work. Discontent is the first necessity of progress. I know this world is ruled by infinite intelligence. Everything that surrounds us, everything that exists, proves that there are infinite laws behind it. There can be no denying this fact. It is mathematical in its precision. It is astonishing what an effort it seems to be for many people to put their brains definitely and systematically to work. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. I never view mistakes as failures. They are simply opportunities to find out what doesn't work. The successful person makes a habit of doing what the failing person doesn't like to do. Success is 90 perspiration and 10 inspiration. There is a better way for everything. Find it. Fools call wise men fools. A wise man never calls any man a fool. The greatest invention in the world is the mind of a child. Vision without execution is delusion. Having a vision for what you want is not enough. Vision without execution is hallucination. When you have exhausted all possibilities, remember this, you haven't. Most of my ideas belong to other people who never bothered to develop them. I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. I never quit until I get what I want. Continued innovation is the best way to beat the competition. Before you reject an idea, find at least 5 good things about it. I owe my success to the fact that I never had a clock in my workroom. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. Never say I failed 99 times. Say I discovered 99 ways which causes failure. There seems to be no limit to which some men will go to avoid the labor of thinking. Thinking is hard work. 5% of the people think. 10% of the people think they think. And the other 85% would rather die than think. To do much clear thinking, A person must arrange for regular periods of solitude when they can concentrate and indulge the imagination without distraction. Show me a thoroughly satisfied man, and I will show you a failure. Success is based on imagination plus ambition and the will to work. Remember, life is all what you focus on. Learn lessons and keep moving forward towards your goals and dreams. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. The biggest failure of man is that he gives up before he realizes how close he was to success. I failed my way to success. I never perfected an invention that I did not think about in terms of the service it might give others. I find out what the world needs, then I proceed to invent. The secret of success is focus of purpose. The trouble with most people is that they quit before they start. Do the thing and the power will come. Never go to sleep without a request to your subconscious. If we did all the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Tomorrow is my exam, but I donned T. Team T care, because a single sheet of paper can GJ T decide my future. Be courageous, have faith, go forward. We will make electricity so cheap that only the rich will burn candles. People are not remembered by how few times they fail, but by how often they succeed. Every wrong step is another step forward. A man vichem, best friend is a good wife. A good intention with a bad approach often leads to a poor result. Everything comes to those who hustle while they wait. A diamond is a piece of coal that's stuck to the job. A genius is a talented person who does his homework. I have far more respect for the person with a single idea who gets there than for the person with 1,000 ideas who does nothing. The doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. I am a vegetarian as well as a passionate anti-alcoholic because I can thus make better use of my brain. A teacher sent the following note home with a 6-year-old boy he is too stupid to learn. That boy was Thomas A.E. Edison. Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. I would rather have one man with enthusiasm working with me than 10 who are complacent. My mother was the making of me. She was so true and so sure of me, I felt that I had someone to live for, someone I must not disappoint. The memory of my mother will always be a blessing to me. The first 40 hours of work per week are for survival. Everything after that is for success. Every failure is a lesson learned about your strategy. Mr. Edison worked endlessly on a problem using the method of elimination. If a person asked him if he were discouraged because so many attempts proved unavailing, he would say, "No, I am not discouraged because every wrong attempt discarded is another step forward." The most necessary task of civilization is to teach people how to think. It should be the primary purpose of our public schools. The mind of a child is naturally active. It develops through exercise. Give a child plenty of exercise for body and brain. The trouble with our way of educating is that it does not give elasticity to the mind. It casts the brain into a mold. It insists that the child must accept. It does not encourage original thought or reasoning, and it lays more stress on memory than observation. I do not believe in the God of the theologians, but that there is a supreme intelligence, I do not doubt.